Yeah.
Let's go. Woo. Hello, everybody. I am jakezsr, and my couch over here can go ahead.
Oh, I'm CJ.
Yo, what's up? I'm Zim, or ZimPractical.
All right. And this is Donkey Kong Bananza, and also, more importantly, my beautiful GDQX art
Yeah.
that I've made.
Everyone be nice about it. He worked really hard. For the last hour, actually, he chose not to practice. It's weird.
So I will give a countdown for when we start. It'll be in a second here. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we're going to get basically right into it. We can skip pretty much every single cutscene in this game. So
Yeah, way too many.
yeah, straight into the action.
A lot of
But
skips.
as we're saying before, this is any % restricted. It's basically just any %, but we ban a glitch that allows you to get infinite height. And it's also very, very difficult to perform and very rough on the hands.
And it's not fun anyways.
Yeah, so this is a much better category to see the game. So this is the first level, Ingot Isle. It already looks a little bit crazy as to what's going on here. I promise we'll explain more of it later.
Sorry for the bitrate as well. People at home.
Donkey Kong goes a bit insane here, so.
Yeah. So this is a game that was also made by the Super Mario Odyssey team, as I'm sure some of you know. So it looks a little bit similar just in visual style, but how the games play are completely different. So for example, for speedrun routing in Odyssey, you want to try to get the required moons to go on to the next level. But for this game, we can just go to the straight to the end of every single individual level, which makes the routing super interesting for the run. And the movement is also, as you can probably tell, significantly different. I can let someone on the couch here maybe explain some of the movement that's going on here while
Gotcha. I can go ahead. So, in addition to DK's normal movement, he could pick up parts of the terrain that are chunks. And what you could do with those are absolutely insane. Of course, you have your chunk jump, which allows you to double jump. But for the speedrun specifically, there are things called FATs, F-A-T-S, which stands for Fast Air Turf Surfs. And another variant called an AFAT, which is an aerial fast air turf surf.
We're really good at naming things.
Yes.
Really
and
good.
it's basically the bread and butter of the speed run. It allows you to move very quickly, very fast, and allowed to cross large gaps. So you'll be seeing Jake do a lot of those throughout the entire run.
Yep. And we'll also be collecting a ton of bananas. So those in the crowd who are here live today, we want to say, ooh, banana every time we get a banana.
Yeah.
Yes.
That will be happening quite a bit.
We'll help you with
you
the
can
first
imagine.
one.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is the first level, Ingot Isle. Earlier, I hit a checkpoint, which allows me to go back to it over here. Typically, you're supposed to leave this underground section, but it ends up being a little bit faster just to go to this checkpoint. And we can also skip the whole end of this level just by doing that.
Yep. So that was one of the, I think that was an AFAT.
Yes, that was an AFAT.
Yes. And, ooh, okay.
Well, you hit the switch twice.
Yeah, I hit the switch. So one thing I was also trying to do here is get my smash and stats up, which allows me to get bonus gold for a later layer. So that's something that I was doing there that, like I was saying, there's a lot going on, but.
Yeah. Pretty much everything right now, he's trying to get a certain amount of gold because on the third level of the run, you have to pay 3,000 gold for some reason. It's unskippable as far as we know.
Yeah.
People have tried because it sucks.
Thankfully,
But,
yeah, it's the only part in the run where we need gold. So once we get past the 3,000, we can just go ahead and blast through the rest of the levels.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep, so we're here at Lagoon. Is it Lagoon Layer, right?
Yeah,
bro.
It's a Lagoon Island.
Hey, you only need to know how to go fast, not the level names.
Yeah, so typically in a casual run, you have to raise the water level here by going to all 3 of the spouts. Nintendo, when they were making this game, it's kind of interesting. They left a lot of stuff in that we're sure they know about that just allows you to skip parts of the game. So you can see over here, typically we're supposed to raise this bridge by raising the water, but we can just jump over it.
Yep.
And originally, a lot of these small skips were found by me and another runner named Neil at the Australian release of the game. And we were so shocked. We're like, I cannot believe how much got through QA. But later on, you'll see it, but there is a voice line they put in if you skip something, so they just knew about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
It's all, I think they did some interviews where they talked about how they left a lot of sequence breaks and skips in on purpose. Which is really cool, and they actually haven't patched anything since the game came out. They have not.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
tried to
Pauline.
patch
Fingers crossed that it stays that way, but we'll see.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, Pauline's in this game. Just
Sorry, guys.
don't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah, for the rest of the run as well, on my couch, cjya, he made a promise to me and he said, I will do the voice acting for Pauline.
Oh, of
So
course.
that will be something that happens.
Yeah. You might not be able to tell, though, because I sound just like her. So if you think maybe that wasn't me, it probably was.
So we just got the first Bananza in this game. The whole, I guess, gimmick is that you get different transformations. This is the first one. Spoiler alert, we're only going to get 3 out of the, I think, 5, right,
yes,
in total?
yes.
It is possible to skip another one. As of right now, it does technically save time, but no one's gotten good enough at it yet to do it at a top level.
Yeah.
And it's lame.
Shout out to my goat Twirly
Yeah,
for
shout out to Twirly.
getting close. He's getting closer, but as of
Yeah.
yet, it's still not quite fast. Well, it's fast enough, just no one's good enough to do it just
Yeah,
yet.
Yeah.
not really RTA viable at the moment.
Yeah, if you want to see the movement of this game pushed to its absolute limits, definitely check out Twirly because he's
It will
doing
be.
some stuff.
It will
with
be
him
one
as
day.
possible.
It will be one day faster.
Yeah. So we're gonna use our transformation here. Shoutouts to Spike Vegeta who came up with that routing right there to throw the rock.
Go Spike. And then he would go into people's chats and tell them to do the strat.
Yeah, that's how I learned about it.
Because, yeah, he wanted to leave his mark on the game.
And we do want to get another stone bonus in this layer for an extra 100 gold. So be on lookout. If he's
Yeah.
breaking any extra rocks, that's why.
Yes, yeah, we're trying to get some more gold here for that toll coming up in Hilltop.
Skipping that
Practice for
banana.
skip layer.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh man, I forgot the banana. Wait.
Dang. Well, that's tough. At least there's a lot more to get later, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I got a $150 donation here
Oh.
from Rain ZXI that just says banana.
Got us covered. So this is the first boss of the run. This is Pika Bruiser. This boss used to be a huge pain before we managed to figure it out. You can just throw that ball at him.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the fight. I did get my smash stats there, so that's good.
Yeah. Fun thing about the bosses that for a while, quite a few of them were very RNG, and
Yes.
then eventually found a way just to be fast enough to avoid the RNG.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting a boss a bit later into the run that is quite notorious for being very RNG heavy, and hopefully we're able to
Yep.
avoid it.
Yeah. Another thing you might have noticed there too is that I'm down punching over and over again on top of the bosses. For whatever reason, there's no like delay. Like you can just spam down punch as fast as possible, and it lets you just kind of melt the boss's health, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I found that just by the way. So if anyone asks.
Okay. Humble brag. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know why he's saying that. I found it.
Oh.
We found it as a community, obviously.
No, me specifically.
So this is going to start a very big trend you're going to see for the rest of the run. It's a tunnel that we just have to down punch through. It is a little bit faster just to down punch, but we're going to allocate this just to donations. So,
We can maybe squeeze in a quick one here. This one's a shorter one.
yep.
Okay, I got 2 quick ones here. I got a $25 donation from Bootleg that says, nice sandwiches, less
Yep.
than 3. And then I got a $200 donation. Yeah, Pratt, you can clap for that. if you don't know, yes, that's fine. And it's from King K. Rule. And it says, just try and fight me, I dare you.
That is really scary. I'm actually frightened.
Yeah, let's just cancel the run.
So you see there, I just got my Smash the Stats gold. That's what we were working on in those last layers. We're still a little bit short. We need 3,000 gold here. So we're going to try to get some gold throughout this layer.
Yeah,
this is a very simple one, so...
Yeah, this is where the toll is to get the 3,000. And then after that, it's the only reason to get gold is to refill the Bananza meter for the transformations, and that's it.
Yep.
Which is nice, because grinding at the beginning kind of sucks.
Yep. I guess we can get into a little bit of the actual Kong Bananza transformation. For the actual speed run, it's nothing too crazy, but you do get to damage bosses a bit faster and break through terrain faster. So we will be seeing it. There's a certain Bananza we're going to be picking up soon that will allow us to traverse a lot of the map
Yeah.
quite nicely. So
The next one is
Look
definitely
out-
the most
look out for
important
that.
one. It breaks everything wide open,
Yeah. It's also the one that people are trying really hard to skip.
yes.
which is why it's lame.
But yeah, that's pretty much Hilltop layer. We got a little bit more on this next sub layer here, and then we're on to
Yeah, this one sucks.
Another wonderful tunnel. Thankfully, the best one's coming up next, so...
I
That
do
is true,
agree.
yeah.
I just want to pop in here real quick with one donation. It's a $25 donation from Sin Splitter X, and it says, doing my part in unlocking the co-op King K rule fight, less than 3. And to give an update on that, we're at $880 out of the 1,000 we need. We're so close, chat.
Yeah.
Let's get that met. Let's just get that over with. Why just have
Yeah.
that sitting there? Come on.
CJ's been begging to play, so please get the...
Well, that's not fair because I was about to say Jake's been begging me to help him on the next boss.
You got beat.
But whatever, man.
The down punching that we do in the tunnels is kind of funny because when it was first... I mean, when we first figured out that you had to go through these tunnels for every level, it was just like kind of a nice break
It was so nice.
in between. And then, of course, someone had to come along and they're like, hey, by the way, this saves like a second. So now you have to focus on all these tunnels.
Yeah, it's like very hard to time it properly. And it saves about 3 seconds per tunnel.
It depends on the length of the tunnel, but yeah,
Okay.
it ends up saving like 40 seconds or something.
Yeah, which is
Run.
just enough that you like have to do it.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
sucks.
So we're on to the canyon layer here. This one looks really cool. It's also really hard.
Yeah.
So hopefully...
This layer is normally really long. There's like 3 bosses you have to fight, and there's a whole sub layer. But pretty early on, people found out you can kind of just skip the whole thing, and it's one of the biggest skips of the entire run.
Yeah, I think it was the first one found. It was Neil, and once again, so many of these skips were found literally day one because we
Yeah.
were just messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool to see this stage evolve over time, because when it first came out, it's like, oh, we have to do all these insane strats just to go over this one jump, and then now we have all this tech where we can like make it even more optimized. So we will
Yeah.
be seeing one right here. Nice.
Nice.
Now hold your breath, there's another one coming up. There we go.
Okay, there we go. And then
Part 3.
And, then
And you
the
know, for
final
good
one.
measure, just go all the way up.
Oh no!
Oh, he bonked, bro. You guys can boo for that one.
I got up
All right,
there.
we're up there.
There we go. There's Canyon. I mean,
So,
now
yeah.
there's a boss, but
There is actually another way to do that layer with a clip. It's not nearly
Yeah.
as cool looking, so...
but I think just that movement saves it's like 3 minutes at least.
Yeah, overdoing the
something
boss.
crazy.
You skip
Yeah.
2 bosses doing that.
Yeah.
So that alone is a lot of time.
Speaking of bosses, we have Stomp and Clomper here, who I think just has a really funny name. So
He's you're supposed to like slowly like break his legs and then break his head, but if you do certain strats, you can just break his head immediately. Like right here, he's gonna jump up, grab the gold from his head, and then use the gold to explode his head.
There we go.
And just fully expose
That's one way to
the
do it.
vulnerable model. And there you go. That's the boss. Easy peasy.
and that is the canyon layer.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's supposed to be a lot longer than that, though.
Yeah, that's going to be a trend through this run. There's a big open world for us to explore, and we're like, yeah, 3 minutes, 2 minutes maybe to get through it.
Yeah, there's a couple that are a little bit longer, but yeah, for the most part, they're really short. It's kind of funny. And yeah, we have time for some donations if you got them.
Oh, do I got him. We've got a $100 donation. I'm gonna need you for here, the audience here for this one. A $100 donation from Jasmine Kazooie that says, say yippee for charity. Yippee! We've got a $100 donation from Ivy that says, with much love. And we also have a $250 donation.
Oh my God.
This one comes to us from Miria Ocelot. And they say, longtime GDQ watcher, first time at a GDQ event in person.
Ooh.
These events always bring out the best in humanity, and I had to donate to help make a difference.
Wow, shout
Thank
out to
you
them.
very much for
Yeah.
that.
That's what's up.
Time for more?
You can get like one more in here.
Okay, cool. I've got a $5 donation from Neil that says, I'm so glad to see Jake representing the elderly speedrunning community. Happy 54th birthday, Unc. Less than 3.
Oh, wait, there
Oh,
it is.
banana.
There it is. Our first banana of many.
Yeah, there's so many more, as you can tell.
And that is for specifically for the skill point that we're not using yet, but he will be using later
Yeah, that just happens to be the fastest one that we can grab.
Yeah.
Also, I'll go ahead and spoil it. That's the only one we get for the entire.
What? Why am I even here, bro?
I've been so ready to say oh banana.
I know, I'm sorry. So this is Divide. You get to pick between 2 different levels here. The Freezer path and the Forest path. Freezer has the Zebra Bonanza and Forest has the Ostrich Bonanza. And it just so turns out that Ostrich is like way cooler. So we're gonna go there instead.
Yeah.
Disclaimer,
And bump.
Freezer is faster, but we go get Ostrich, and you'll see why it's so good later.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, very soon, so.
Yep. This is also one of the harder sub layers, or layers in general, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the reason why we want to go Forest first, actually, despite the fact that it seems like there's a choice, then you have to go back, we actually have a skip that once again was found day 1, where we can skip either Zebra or Ostrich. So it was kind of cool to route that out because you have to kind of make that choice. But
Yeah. So that's probably the biggest skip is we're literally skipping an entire level.
Yep.
Yep.
And we are skipping that Zebra Bonanza, so I'm sorry for those who like the Zebra music. Maybe watch an All Bosses, All Bonanzas run. I'm just plugging that out there.
Good point. I will say, though, that's another thing where you think they're skipping the whole level. There's no way the devs knew, but somehow the devs knew. When you beat the game and you haven't gotten all the Bonanzas, normally when you beat the game, it says like, oh, 3 months later, you met up with Pauline, or, you wake up in Ingot Isle again. But if you don't get all the Bonanzas, it's like 1 month later, Pauline came and said, let's go get the Bonanzas we missed.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, all right, now the normal stuff.
Yeah, it's cool that there's like an in-lore, like,
Yeah.
oh, you skipped everything instead of just like,
It's really
just gives it to
forced.
you.
It's really forced in there. It's just a random voice line from Pauline, like, let's go get the Bonanzas. Like, it kind of makes no sense. All right, Jake's going the wrong way here.
Oh, wait, yeah.
well, Jake is doing Ostrich list. Let's go.
Well, I tell you what,
Huge.
while Jake finds his way here, I want to let you folks know we only need $62 more to get that incentive
God.
met. And if you notice, we're also creeping very close to hitting $18,000 raised so far for the World's Central Kitchen. So, if you want to hit that number, you can get 2 for 1. Hit that
All right, we're
18K,
back.
apply it towards the King K rule fight, and we'll be all set.
Sorry, in my old age, I've just kind of
Yeah.
A
lost my
brief
ability to navigate.
detour. It's all right.
Really.
Yeah, typically we want to get both parts of the disc before going.
Yeah.
That's okay. So yeah, we now have the Ostrich Bonanza. The unique ability this one has is the ability to fly. And as you can probably imagine, just by default, that seems pretty broken.
Yeah.
And you would be right. We also have some tricks we can do with it to fly a little bit longer and a little bit further. And that allows for some pretty crazy skips coming up. So this next sublayer in particular is kind of crazy with Ostrich. So
Yeah, this is just as busted as it sounds. And the bird is really jacked.
that is true. Okay,
In
so
case anyone was wondering.
I don't have to get the key now. So like if you think about it, it's time save.
Wow.
Make sure you get that skill unlocked.
Someone's got to tell Twirly.
Yeah, so now we're gonna use that banana we got earlier to get Glide 1. That just lets us fly a little bit further, which is nice.
Getting gold. So now you're going to see, now that we're really using the Bonanzas, you're going to see Jake has to route in a lot of gold, just random gold that he's going to have to grab. Usually it doesn't really lose any time, though, because it's routed in so well, whether that's by like throwing chunks at the gold or grabbing it on the way somewhere. But he always wants to make sure that meter's full. And then you're going to see in a second, once it runs out, you can actually refresh it just by switching to a different Bonanza. Rather than having to like go back to default form and then do the whole beat in the chest thing, he can just switch to bird, switch back to Kong, and that'll completely refresh it, which is really nice. Like a super cool quality of life thing.
Yeah, it makes the run really cool too, where we're just switching between a bunch of Bonanza forms.
Very
depending on what we're
fluid.
doing.
It was a steep learning curve because you use the back. Most people use the back paddles on the Pro Controller.
Yep.
And it was a steep learning curve. Not accidentally pressing those paddles all the time. That's brutal, though.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It bounced off the wall.
Good thing we have this cantaloupe here.
Oh.
There we go. Melon. Just go up the casual way. See, Jake, this is why you should have had me play.
You will get to play, assuming we hit
make
our
that-
donation
yeah,
goal
that's
here.
True. I don't know, $60,
We only need $27
$27. That might
Let's
be
go.
tough.
We got that. All right, so we're on to the final sublayer of Forest here. This one's also kind of difficult. We've got a really unique boss here, Abracadabra. Really good names in this game, by the way. And if you guys want to explain how that fight's going to go.
Yeah,
you go ahead, Zim.
Sure. There's going to be 3 poison bulbs we have to get through. Actually, explain this first. We're going to be poking through this thorns real quick. Normally, we have to go around, and he gets it perfectly. That's hard to do, by the way. So, okay. So we're going to be hitting 3. Well, I guess the boss is going to appear in 3 different locations. Jake is just going to get to them as fast as possible. Down punch. Next one spawns to the right. Use an A-fat here to get up to it. There's the second one. Got one more to go to. It's going to be to the right here.
It's just kind of embarrassing how easy we can make these fights look.
Yeah.
I swear, if you're 7 years old, this is really hard.
Yeah, and that's Abracadabra.
There it is. That's Forest Lair. Let's go.
That is definitely one of the harder ones, especially when you get lost as to where you're going.
Yeah. That happens to people all the time, too. Yeah.
It's one of those bosses, the longer you take, the harder it gets. So.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pop in here because I got a lot of stuff to say here. First
we
of all,
have time. Go ahead.
we have met the incentive for King K. Rool!
Yeah. Let's go.
So that is met. We have also surpassed $18,000 raised for World Central Kitchen. Now, obviously, that number is still counting all throughout tonight and into tomorrow, but I do want to read off one special donation here that helped to make that happen. It's a $53 donation, and it's from King J0444. And it says, here's the money I promised from my Astrobot run earlier this morning from both the deaths and the amount of people that showed up. Also, thank you, World Central Kitchen, for letting me be a part of the sandwich making. All right, crowd, I need you to be with me here, because it ends with TwitchCon Hype!
Hi.
There we go.
All right, so we're reaching the end of the tunnel here, and we're going on to the junction. So this is the one typically, casually in the game, you'd have to go back, do freezer layer. Instead, we're going to be doing this skip, which I actually found.
Wow.
Oh, my God. This dude.
We found it once again on day 1, which is kind of funny. But it's also pretty difficult. It's a little bit of a harder version of it. So hopefully we pull it off here.
Basically, you finish this, you make half of a bridge show up, and you can't cross without the other half, so then you have to go back to the freezer layer. It's kind of like Nintendo gives you the illusion of choice, and then they're like, just kidding, you have to do both, idiot. But speedrunners obviously just found a way to skip it, and Jake's gonna show that off right here. Because once you get to the other end of this bridge, it actually just triggers everything. It's not like you need both sides, which is another thing that Nintendo could have easily made it required that you have to get both sides, but instead, there it is. He gets the job, easy peasy.
Yeah, one thing Jake does with the ostrich is called an extended flutter. So you see him shaking the rock back and forth. That allows him to actually preserve his flutter time before he goes into his glide. So it makes the jump quite a bit easier.
Yeah. Actually, I think it makes it possible.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Makes it impossible.
It just happens to be a weird mechanic in this game where punching in the air stalls you a little bit. And so as Ostrich, it refreshes that for whatever reason. So you can just keep that stall going for a while. But we are on to the Void fight here. Almost went by the hilltop there. That was pretty good. So yeah, we have to fight Void 3 different times in 3 different layers. And the fight is, maybe someone else can explain it while I'm doing
awful.
it here.
It's awful.
It's very complicated.
Pretty much, he's going to be going to different spots, and you have to hit him at each different spot. Every time he goes to a different spot, he kind of cuts through the ground. Here, he's going to throw a rock before entering the fight, so it hits him at the start of the fight. But pretty much, Void, for some reason, like lags the game super bad. It eats all your inputs, and it's kind of like you can't really like flow through the fight at all. You have to react. Like, you go to jump, and you have to like, did the jump go through or did it not? Maybe sometimes your dirt gets stuck on the ground in front of you. Jake's gonna be going for a quick kill here before he gets to his final location. If he waits for him to start this next attack and then quickly hits him, there you go, the fight ends. And that was part 1. Part 1, I'd say, is the least laggy. But you have to get the most, like, there's more snipes that you have to get.
Yeah, I honestly find it harder than the other ones. It's weird. You have to like kind of aim where he's going to go rather than at him, and so it makes it a little tricky. But we're on to the Lagoon fight now, which is, I think, a little bit easier, but it's also way more room for error because of all the lag.
Yeah.
And that's something interesting about this game, and it's people's biggest complaint is that this game will drop your inputs whenever it gets a chance. If there's a lag frame, your inputs don't go through. If something like hits something on the same frame, you press a button, it doesn't work. It's crazy.
And basically Void, whenever he moves, he just like cuts through the ground. And while he's cutting through the ground, that is just lagging the game like crazy and eating all your inputs.
Maybe Switch 3 will be the one that makes it better.
The Switch 3 edition's gonna go crazy. I think Jake's gonna be going for another quick kill here, trying to kill Void before.
Nice.
Oh, and there we go. Sniping him on the way. That was awesome.
Huge.
Got one more going back to
Now the
Junction.
last one. Yeah, this last one, it's not necessarily as hard, but you can die on it because
Yes, yeah.
sometimes Void just cuts out the ground from under you and spawns you in lava or something like that.
It also has the most amount of input drops when he starts spawning these walls, which you will be able to see, don't worry.
Yeah, this game is, I can't believe it was supposed to come out on the Switch 1. And that thing would have exploded. It's insane.
Yeah.
Super long load there for some reason. Way longer than any other load.
Yeah, we have a little bit of time for donations as well, because this is pretty much the same thing as the last two fights.
Well, I do want to let you folks know that we did close out that incentive for the King K. Rool co-op fight. But when one incentive closes, another one opens.
That's
What we've got going on
inspiring.
now is actually for the first run of tomorrow. It's for the Link to the Past. You can put in a bid war. It's a bid war for the file name choice. We're going to take the top two because it's a race. So if you want to apply for
Whoa.
that, that's obviously a
I've
blank
never
slate,
seen that.
so you can get in on that. Now, here's something else that I want to announce, all right? For the next run of Dead Rising, if we can hit a milestone of at least $20,000 raised for World Central Kitchen, we will have Ecdysis fight the true final boss of Dead Rising. So if you want to see that, just get your donations in however you want. If you want to apply them to the bid war, go ahead and do that. But all money raised, no matter what you do, is going to be applied to that incentive. 20K total is what we need, Chad.
nice.
That was a really
Alright.
difficult jump I just did.
Yeah, during that, Jake absolutely nailed the Void fight, nailed the jump, going into the next layer.
Yep. And now we get to go on a little vacation here.
Yeah.
We're going to the resort layer. This is, I think, the shortest one? Or is it?
It's
Racing
like
might be
tied.
shorter.
They're like
Yeah,
same.
it's really short either way.
It's a very short layer that you're supposed to do a whole thing, and of course we just skip it. It's actually really easy to skip. And there's a couple layers like that, but it's a nice break because the layer that comes after it is absolutely brutal.
Yes.
So it's nice to have a little break before that. But it does make it so that in the rare occasion that you do kill a run on this layer, it is just the worst feeling on earth. It's horrible.
Yeah, especially after Junction, which is like kind of the first really big run killer.
Yeah.
But
We gotta get up to the watermelon. There's a lot of platforms that you slowly climb up, but using these weird shark guys, you just hit one towards, they give you this lift-off ore, which is gonna let you fly up. And of course, with the ostrich, the most broken thing in this game, you can just skip right to the end with the extended flutter, stalling, whatever. I don't know what it's called, to be honest. And then you just dig right in.
Yeah, it's just
And
right
that's-
there.
That's
It's
it.
just right there.
That's the whole thing.
yeah, casually you have to like climb up all these floating islands and get up to the top and then get on top of the watermelon and then blow it up. But yeah, you can just go inside.
Which is kind of messed up. Like, this is the #1 tourist attraction of this layer, and you just blow it up. I don't understand what their problem is. You could have just dug through.
No, seriously, it
it-
is messed up.
Blows up anyways.
Justice for the watermelon, please. So yeah, we're going on to Tempest. As we were saying earlier, it's pretty brutal. But we're in this tunnel now, so we have some time for donations if you got some.
You know, before I get into donations, I want to give a shout out to the people in the first two rows here in the audience, because just about every time I say something, I can see out of the corner of my eye they're watching me very intently. So thank you for paying attention. Much love to you. Y'all are fantastic. Now, on to love for the people on the couch here in the donation comments. I think these are some residuals from the King K. Rool one. We've got a $75 donation from Jasmine Kazooie that says, "Get in there, CJ."
Hell yeah.
We got $20 from Kirby9412 that says, "Jake, good luck with the run. Also, is that CJ the GOAT?" And we also have a $5 donation from Adrian that says, "Oh, banana." I'm sad that I couldn't
one's
quite make it to GDQX this year, but it's good to see a familiar face on the couch. Hey, Zim.
What's up, Adrian?
Good luck to Jake and the rest of the runners in this event.
I don't know. It seems like we're kind of stealing all Jake's thunder here.
Yeah,
The couch is kind of way cooler.
So this is a bird that is pretty disliked by the community. Shout outs to High Text. I forget he called it like that bird that I'm really not a fan of. I don't remember. But we have to fight him 3 times throughout this layer. But if you guys want to explain what's going on here, this is...
I can go ahead, yeah. So Jake is going to be doing some disc juggling, I'm assuming. Yes. Okay, so normally you go one at a time, get a disc, bring it up to the Elephant Elder, and go back down and get a second one. But we're going to be multitasking and getting both of them up at the same time. It's not as easy as it sounds because these discs like to phase out of existence and also despawn. So we have to be very careful where we putting them down. That looks good. And we also make sure we have to Kong Bananza form so that we can throw this disc very far. And hopefully it doesn't clip into a place where we can't get to. That looks nice.
I threw it a little high, but it should be good.
No, it should be.
And sometimes you do everything right, and the thing just despawns.
Yeah, it sucks. I think it should be okay.
We'll see.
Yep.
Just
We're good.
There it is.
Awesome. That was very fast, by the way. At least fast I've seen.
This could be world record.
Could be close.
It's gonna be close. Rick
I don't
better
know.
watch
You did
out.
kind of get lost in forest, but maybe it'll be
No,
fast
that was
enough.
all
Rick
part
did the
of
same
plan.
thing.
You wouldn't believe it.
So this is the last Bananza we're going to get throughout the run. This is the Elephant Bananza. We have tried so hard to skip this one. Unfortunately, there's a key on this next sublayer that only reacts to the elephant for whatever reason, which is honestly strange because they give you the ability to skip like all of the other ones but Kong.
Yeah, it's a fun fact because it's the only time you ever need to transform. If you do, there's a minimum transformations run, and this is the only time you ever need to transform is to get this key. It's the one thing that is 100% locked behind a Bananza. People have tried so hard to get it. Even like you could completely overlap Donkey Kong's hitbox with this key. It doesn't matter. It has to get sucked out with the elephant first.
It's really weird.
Uh-oh.
No, this is fine.
Oh. Forgot you had
the bird.
that. Forgot you had that, to be honest.
So this is the key we were talking about.
Yeah, every other key is collected by just walking into it, but this key can only be collected by sucking it with the elephant, as far as we know.
A question a lot of people often have is why we can't just clip through to the next sublayer. And besides literally just one sublayer, there are void planes everywhere. They were very diligent to make sure that we don't do that.
Yeah.
Except for one specific case, which we'll see in a little bit here.
And you haven't seen any yet, but there are out of bounds clips.
Yes.
I think there's 4 used in the run, and they're all in this like second half of the run.
Yep. This is the much more glitch-heavy part of the run coming up after Tempest here.
Yeah.
This sublayer is also just recently got a reroute. I guess it was like a month ago. Rock hop, nice. But yeah, we have to get to the end over here, and we need liftoff ore. And there's a couple different places you can get it. It turned out that there's some just hidden in a mound over here.
Yeah.
That you can get. Unfortunately, it's like weird, and half the time just doesn't let you grab it.
Yeah.
So hopefully it works.
One of those classic moments where, there we go, we find a time save, but time save is RNG. Yeah. So half the time you just won't get the time save.
Yep.
Love speedrunning, bro.
Guess I talk a bit about the Elephant Bananza. So one cool thing is that you could store rocks in your trunk, and you're going to be seeing Jake bring out the liftoff ore from the elephant's trunk. It's going to be useful also for the boss fight. You saw in the last one, but you could break it out and throw it to damaged bosses. And a tech that has kind of recently been discovered is the Elefat, which is a variant of the Fat that if you bring out the elephant trunk and do a fat input, then you get an elephant fat. And it's used a lot for the ostrich list run. But yeah, it's a cool Bananza, to say the least.
Yeah, it's got some really cool applications to it. It's not that useful for getting ostrich, which is why we really want to skip it, but it's nice to have, I guess.
Oh, that's a...
Oh, no.
I spoke too soon. He choked.
That's okay.
Just wait.
Oh,
I cannot believe it. Yeah, this bird has a very bad reputation in the community.
Yeah.
But we got there. That's Tempest. That's like, I think honestly the hardest layer in the game.
It is, yeah.
It's up
definitely
there.
up there.
Yeah.
It's the hardest layer that you don't need a huge glitch to skip at the very least.
Yeah. I think it's the longest as well, I want to say, except
so.
like Planet Court, but that doesn't count.
There it is. Well, there's time for donos now. There's any donos to read.
Yep.
Oh, there sure are. I've got a $25 donation from Pythons that says, hopefully there aren't any brooms in this run. Good luck. We got a $50 donation from Thunder Scott, who just simply says, Donkey Kong.
I like that guy.
We got a $25 donation from Mert, who says, jakezsr is my favorite Donkey Kong Bananza bingo player. Glad to see he can still speedrun at his age. A true inspiration.
Aw, shout out Mert.
Nice.
And we also got a $100 donation. And this one comes to us from Scott Free, who says, Evan rocks and World Central Kitchen rolls.
Yeah.
All right. So
Hell
coming
yeah.
up, we're going to be doing the first out-of-bounds glitch of the run, one of quite a few.
Yeah.
This one is quite unique in the sense that it just kind of exists in the planes. Later, we'll see that we'll kind of make our own out-of-bounds clips.
Yep.
But this one will be going up. Normally, you're supposed to dig down in the landfill layer, and it takes a while. It's quite annoying. You get lost easily.
Yeah.
But we're just going to go up and around and out of bounds and down, and then that's the layer.
Yeah, it was really funny because when we were running this at release, this layer just was horrible because you had to dig through the ground and it was really inconsistent and really hard to find where you were going. So we just begged people to look for an out of bounds. And it ended up being the first glitch in the run. So
Yeah, and the only one for a while as well.
Yes.
So when you put your mind to something, you can achieve anything, including clipping out of bounds in a children's Donkey Kong game. So
It's right
Just right
here,
here, yep.
and that was fast.
There it is.
There we go.
It is, you could do it. If you knew where to look, you could do that so easily. It's pretty much just holding a certain angle, jumping at the right time. But there's not a lot of ceilings in this game, to be honest, and not a lot of ceilings with those angles. So later, any glitch you see is pretty much people just realized, and by people, I think it might have been Jake, realized, well, there's no ceilings with angles, but we can just make our own.
yeah.
And that's what all the future clips are going to be like.
The
That
cute
you'll
angle
see a little bit
flips.
from now.
Yeah, it was funny because we found another way to clip through the ground by launching ourselves off a chunk, but it was incredibly inconsistent. So on my stream, I booted it up and just tried to look for something else, and I found something within like 30 minutes, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
By the way, that was the first boss, but now that we have the elephant, you could just suck it up. And that's, I find that very funny.
We didn't know that for so long, which
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to hate that boss, and then someone's like, why don't you just use elephant?
yeah. There was a lot of things like that. Like the fact that you can skip the tutorial for the Bananzas, we didn't know for like 4 days. We were just watching it and like going through the tutorial normally. And then someone was like, hey, there's a menu option to just quit out of this.
That is crazy. I mean, it's surprising that you can do it.
I know, yeah. You wouldn't think they'd like
Those tutorials are long, too.
Yep. But that's landfill layer. We're going on to another short one, the racing layer. But
Yeah.
between there, we do have some time for donations. if we
Yes.
don't, so.
Alrighty, well, before I get to those, I do want to give you folks a reminder about what we've got going on with our incentives, bid wars, all that good stuff. We do have the bid war open for the file name choice for the Link to the Past race that's tomorrow morning. Now, keep in mind, that's the first run of tomorrow morning. So if you do want to put something toward that, the time to do that is now. You're not going to have any time really before the run begins. So make sure you apply to that. Also, by the way, that is a completely blank slate. There are no names or anything like that there. So go ahead and plant your flag for the name that you want to get that going. And then also remember, we need to hit $20,000 total raised for World Central Kitchen. So that way we can have jakezsr do the true final boss fight at the end of their Dead Rising run, which is coming up right after this, okay? Couple donations here. We got a $25 donation from Satoru, who says, have a great time this weekend and I'll see y'all in January.
Nice.
We have a $50 donation from Raccoon Fink, who says, always love to have some GDQ on my screen and happy to give to such a great cause. And we have a $15 donation. This one is from Hearst, and it says, no one should go hungry in this world. And I'm so glad to know we have people like World Central Kitchen and Games Done Quick that are fighting to make that so.
So that was the racing layer.
Yeah.
And Earlier in the run, I talked about a dialogue line that kind of like clicked for us, that we knew that we could skip things and they knew about it, and that's coming up as we enter this tunnel here.
Yeah.
So pay attention to what Pauline says.
Can we get some voice
There
acting?
was supposed to be, yeah, I got you. There was supposed to be a race there, but we skip it, and then Pauline said, hey, DK, don't you think we should try to win that race? Let's go back there and give it a try sometime, okay?
That was beautiful.
Could you even tell that that was CJ doing that?
Yeah. They say we have a similar singing voice as well, me and Pauline.
So yeah, I found that racing layer skip as well on day one. And when I saw that voice line, it all like clicked. It's like, oh, they actually knew that we could do all of this. And that was kind of crazy. And speaking of, we're going now to the Radiance layer. This is where the Snake Bananza is. And for a very long time at the release of this run, we were getting it. There's a crumbling bridge at the very, very end of the run that requires you to either have Zebra or Snake. So for a while, we were getting the Snake Bananza. But we found, it was actually, I think it was Nim who found it, and then Zim found the RTA viable version of it that we'll be doing in this run. But it actually allows us to skip both Snake and Zebra Bananza. So it makes this layer much shorter. It saved like, how many minutes over the run? It was like
quite a 2.5, I think. I might be overestimating, but it's up there, like 2 minutes-ish.
The skip itself here is very easy, and like it was definitely known to be possible. It was just that it was like a roadblock at the end of the game where it was like, well, I guess it's not possible. And it took a while for people to kind of realize that it is possible. Not easy, though. Definitely not easy.
Uh-oh.
That's fine.
Actually, this part is really, really hard. You do it like this? You need a chunk there.
Yeah, I'll grab a chunk here. That is unfortunate.
That's okay.
Normally it doesn't,
There we go.
there we go, we're good.
So this is where you're supposed to have Snake first, is getting this key, and obviously with the AFAT, everything like that. Even without an AFAT, you can do it, but with the AFAT, it makes it really easy.
Yep.
And then we're coming up on a tower here, and that's the other part where it's supposed to be required. But also not too bad once you get the AFATs and everything going.
Yeah, the tower was pretty difficult for a while, and it's undergone actually quite a bit of changes in how we do it.
Yeah.
And as of somewhat recently, we found a way to do it with Elephant that's pretty fast, so hopefully I get it here.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be using the Snake's big old jumps to get up here, but with AFATs, and you have to know exactly where to go because the camera's kind of weird in this room. Do a few big jumps. And one last one. I'll get you over here.
Yep. Can we get some applause for that?
There we go. That was really
nice.
good.
Yeah, so back in the day, Snakeless was kind of like the taboo one where it's like, oh, everyone hates skipping Snake. And but eventually, like Jake said, I just one day saw the crumbling bridge strat, and I was like, oh, let me try this out. And it's like, wait, this is actually pretty easy. Yeah. And of course, if I could do it, then I feel like some other people would be.
That's
a
true,
lot
man.
makes
You're
it easier.
really bad.
Yeah, I get it.
We're on to a fan favorite boss here, Poppy. Kind of unfortunately like a joke of a boss.
Yeah.
It's incredibly easy. It's funny because this is technically the second fight. You didn't see the first one because it was in the freezer layer, but the one in freezer layer is so much harder than
way
this one.
harder. It's way harder. It's not hard, but it's way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, this boss is embarrassing. I mean, the worst part is it's not even like, oh, speedrunner's breaking the game again. That's what I did in my casual playthrough. She never got a single attack out. And a lot of people, like in their casual playthrough, you can just walk up and punch her. She does nothing.
We're going on to the second to last sublayer here of Radiance. This one also casually is so long. Like you have to go through these like inside areas and break a bunch of void
Oh my
stakes.
god, yeah.
But eventually we found out that, I mean, the whole level's just loaded so we could just fly to the end of it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's almost like they made the entire game without knowing Ostrich would be in it. It's like it's so easy to break with Ostrich. And I think they just didn't really care.
And back at the top of the tower as well, I used Elephant to get some of the glowstone. And typically here you're supposed to break a tower to like put sunlight on this thing. But the game's kind of cool to where I can just bring this glowstone over here and it just lets me through.
Yeah.
So I got one last layer here. We're gonna be fighting Grumpy Kong. It's another boss where we were supposed to fight him earlier in the canyon layer, but that was one of the two bosses we skipped. So, but it's gonna be the same concept. Jake is just gonna go climb up to him, say hi, punch him in the face. You know what the deal.
I got no gold there. That's crazy.
Yeah, here's some gold.
Backup gold here.
There we go.
Yeah, normally that refills your meter all the way, but just didn't like me there, I guess.
Gotta have the Kong Bananza ready for this next fight, so gotta get the extra gold.
Yep.
And this fight also is kind of just busted wide open. You're supposed to grab some explosive rocks and break the ceiling, but instead you can just punch it and beat the boss. I mean, that's pretty much it. He's gonna have to wait here a second, but yeah, this boss is pretty easy once you get it down. And now going to probably the most interesting layer, just on its own. This is a groove layer. It used to be the worst one.
It was by far the longest, I think.
Yeah, it was the longest. It was like 50% of it was just dialogue. And but then there was a couple clips found with the clipping method that Jake found, where you grab a chunk like this, line up in a very specific way, aim in a very specific way, and then you can make that sort of janky ceiling and just clip right through. That one saves about 30 seconds, but now he's going to do a harder one and one that saves over 2 minutes.
You may remember earlier when I said we're really bad at naming things.
Yes.
So this clip in particular has an interesting name.
So this is going to be called Chicken Jockey. Now, chat and audience, when we hit this clip, we want to do our best chicken jockey, okay? Just like the Minecraft movie. So we'll set up the clip here. Ooh. Wait for it.
It might work.
Reset it up.
Yeah.
That looks better.
Okay, that one looks better.
That looks good. That is very surprising.
Let me in, please.
Yo, I got it if you need, Jake. Just pass the controller, man.
That looks better.
There we go.
There you go. And he clips
Chicken Jockey.
So you're normally supposed to go through 3 of these areas. And everything you're about to see Jake do, you're supposed to do 3 times. And the funny part is that the game is, you're only supposed to be able to go to, the second one by beating the first one. You're only supposed to be able to go to the third one by beating the second one. So the game at the end, instead of checking if you beat all 3, it's like, well, you can't beat the third without beating the first 2. So if you clip in and only do the third, it actually triggers the end of the entire layer. And if you don't think the name is good, you can just call it CJ Clip for short. It's a really good name. It's named after like a really cool speedrunner.
And by the way, we didn't mention it, but there were death planes like all around where Jake clipped in from.
Yeah, that clip is super difficult.
That's why we grabbed the balloon and lagoon layer for safety, because if you normally you would just void out, you lose a bunch of time, but if you do hit that death plane, you grab your balloon and go to safety. Also nice. Broke that wall.
Yeah, the quick break there. Yeah. I'm notoriously bad at that, so it's crazy that I just got it.
And yeah, if you don't clip there in a very specific way, DK kind of just dies. So it is very precise. We've got certain, setups and techniques now after a while that make it a lot more consistent, but for a while it really was just you play the game for like 45, 50 minutes and then kill it every single time.
Yeah, it was rough. We're actually coming up to probably the most difficult trick in the run.
Yeah.
It was found recently. It's called Mix Skip. Really good name in conventions, as I said earlier.
Oh, wait, hold on. We're about to get the best voice line in the game. Can everyone be quiet, please?
Yes. Banana.
It's peak cinema. Oh, my God. That's crazy. Yeah, this layer was always like the hardest. It was always the run killer. And then the second people started getting consistent and comfortable with it, it's like, okay. And then the next layer, a trick was found that killed every single run. And it was just like, oh, great, we're doing the same thing. But 5 minutes later, that's
and
awesome.
Also significantly harder. This clip,
it's way harder.
So one thing that's in common with all the clips we've done before is that the ceiling is like sloped. For a while, we thought it had to be sloped to be able to clip through it. But then after a lot of trial and error and people just kind of climbing up walls and seeing what would happen, they found out it is possible to clip with a flat ceiling. It is just significantly harder. So there's a little bit of RNG that's going to be involved where we want a very specific shape of a chunk, and we need to throw it in a very precise position, and then also navigate very precisely out of bounds to not hit a void plane.
Because like Jake said earlier, pretty much every sub layer has a death plane in between, so you can't skip. But this is the only one. There's essentially like a hole in the death plane. I don't know how people found it.
There's actually 2 death planes, and they don't quite overlap. So you can just kind of, there's a top death plane and a bottom death plane. And what Jake's going to do is kind of pin the needle and just go right in between the two.
Which, I'm gonna be honest, I was there when it was found. Like, I was in the community when it's found. I don't get how people found this, because it's not like there's any modding tools. It's not like people could actually look at the death planes. This was all just like trial and error of like just dying over and over and seeing where you might not die. So here Jake's gonna grab the chunk. He did get the right shape.
I think that's a smooth crinimal.
Yeah, so all the chunks have names. Don't worry about it. People were going insane trying to figure out this trick. But this is a mixed skip. Normally you have to get these 5 burger switches. It takes forever. Jake is going to clip out of bounds, hopefully. There we go. Pull out the salt on the elephant. It's not over yet. This out of bounds move it, and he threads the needle, and he did not die.
There we go.
Wow. First
try.
That is a hard one, too, because if you mess it up, you basically have to reload the entire level.
Yeah.
And pretty much lose like at least a minute every time.
Typically, you also want to go straight to the boss here, but I didn't get enough gold to be able to get a transformation here, so I have to
and
navigate back and
now we're fighting Muckety Muck.
Oh yeah, it's about to get hard again. So
yeah,
it's still not over.
Jake's gonna do a trick here called a Muck Tua, where basically this boss usually is split into 3 phases, but by hitting it with salt at the perfect time, you can basically just skip the phases. And he did get it. He's going to get out for safety to not die. And there it is. He just saved another like 45 seconds on that boss.
Yep. So this
was insane player.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think I've ever seen Jake do it that well. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
This is his kryptonite.
This was the boss I was talking about earlier that is insanely RNG dependent.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think Zim found that, by the way.
Yeah.
That's like the.
Basically 2 tricks were known at the time, and no one put them together. And one day I was like, I'm going to try doing them both at the same time.
Yeah.
And Muck Tua was born. It stands for Muck 2, one cycle. That's never before heard lore.
That's good.
That's new lore. It's new lore.
Good.
Salt on that thing.
So yeah, we have some time for donations in between the.
Sorry for the onslaught of technical explanations.
Yeah,
there.
we are ready
lot.
for some donations.
It's all good. Well, before I get into the donations, all right, chat, I need your help with something. And everybody that's here too, especially the folks here in the front row, some of which I'm currently making eye contact with right now. Y'all can help me too. Very good. So we have that milestone where we need $20,000 to have jakezsr fight the true final boss for Dead Rising. Now I have a confession to make. I am not familiar with Dead Rising at all. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to donate, and in your comment, I want you to tell me, enlighten me, what is the true final boss of Dead Rising? Wrong answers only. Okay? So get those in, and I want to learn something here today. In the meantime, let me read off a few donations here.
Yeah.
I got a $5 donation from Aiko that says, "What's my name again? What's my name again?" Speaking of the folks here in the audience, we have a $75 donation from Molly Fawcett, who says, it says, "Hi, jakezsr. It's Molly, your girlfriend. I'm sitting behind you." Who's Molly?
I have no
Where's
idea
Molly?
who that girl is.
That's Molly? Oh, shout outs to Molly. And then we have an anonymous donation. It's a $25 donation, and it says, "Thank you, WCK, for all you do. That sandwich segment was awesome. Let's get 20K.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is Forbidden Lair. Normally, you're supposed to pay these big Fractone guys a lot of gold to build these. Well, no, they don't build bridges. They create spheres like in the space-time continuum that allows you to build bridges using chunks.
They suck, and I hate them.
We have Ostrich. We are good. We do not have to pay gold.
It's actually like surprisingly easy. You probably could do it casually, especially if you have the snake in combo with the bird.
Yep.
It actually makes it a lot easier to cross these gaps. But Jake just crossed all of them, and now he's going to fight Void Kong again, but this time laggier and more dangerous than ever. You're supposed to be upgrading your health as the run goes on by getting bananas, but that's slow. So pretty much at this point in the game, everything one-shots you. Jake does still have a leftover apple juice that you get early in the run for the Muck fight, because Muck can randomly deal a lot of damage to you, and it's good to have just in case. So he does get to get saved once just in case something happens in these last couple levels, but literally everything here is going to one-shot him.
Yeah, this part's really stressful.
And here, just like earlier, he's going to be trying to snipe Void again, but only now if he misses the snipes, it could lead to his death or just a big time loss like this.
Does not want to behave here. There we go.
Yeah, his hitbox is kind of weird. Oh, got an early snipe by accident. Love to see it.
It was actually on
be
purpose.
I mean, on purpose, yeah. I don't know. I can't read Jake's mind. That was a really good snipe. Impressive threading that needle there. But yeah, as you can see, whenever he throws a chunk, it makes a bridge. That's what Zim was talking about earlier. That's the casual way to get through the level. And now into the laggy part. Here Void is gonna be spawning in a lot of stuff as you're trying to cross over lava and barely avoid these walls hitting you. Basically, like, you have to press every input like 3 times to make sure it actually goes through.
Sometimes your chunk can also just melt in the lava there.
Yeah,
and you die.
yeah. It's pretty inconsistent how long chunks will survive while you're riding on lava, but it looks like Jake's doing pretty well here. Just going to the end. Those walls are scary.
Yeah,
but he got it. There it is. The Void Fight done. And that is where I thought the game was over, and I was like 12 hours into stream, and it wasn't over. Because guess what? K-Rool's back, baby.
Yeah.
Sorry for spoiling.
Didn't get another comment about that. A little fun fact is that in my casual playthrough, I did not pay any of the fractals, and when I got to the boss, I was so confused because the game doesn't really teach you.
Oh, that's funny, actually. I never thought about that.
So I was like, how do I beat this boss?
I think I was paying them, and then I saw the last one got so expensive, I was like, I'm skipping this one.
Yeah, so we're on to the Planet Core, which is the longest level in the game. It's like 11 minutes long or something. It's full of a bunch of difficult tricks. And then we have the final boss, K-Rool. And after that, there's something super rare that can happen. I'm sure it's not going to happen this run. It's called K-Rool glitch. We don't have to worry about it. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal.
It's like a 1 in 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like insane.
Anyway, this is our last tunnel. We can probably get in a few donations before we get into the meat of the core.
Yeah, I got a couple of donations here with no comments. Bunky Joe 110 donates $30, and Mr. Rez donates $25. Also want to let you know that we now have some movement here on the bid war for the file names for the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past race that will be taking place first thing tomorrow morning. There are 2 names, both of them have $25. One of them is Hype, and one of them is Zeld. It is a 4-character limit, so do keep that
4
in mind.
characters, really?
Right, yeah, for Link to the Past, it's 4 characters.
I think it's like the Japanese version has less character space or something like that.
Yeah.
Totally
yeah,
uninformed.
yeah.
I don't know. That's my guess.
Okay. Can someone donate for me? I'll pay you back and have it
Pay you back.
have it be DK. I want the name to be DK.
Wow.
All right, well, you heard him. If you want to,
So
donate
noble,
that.
not saying cjya. That takes
I
a lot of
guess that would work.
Also, don't forget about the wrong answers only for that Dead Rising 2 final boss fight. I do want to find out about that.
Also, just wanted to say, Jake, can you please hurry? I have to pee so bad. So please don't die or anything, because it might be bad.
Well, you got to be in tip-top shape for a final boss.
Man, I know, I'm saying. Just hurry.
Yeah, Planet Core, here's the first big skip of Planet Core. It's also why Ostrichlis is hardly RTA viable right now. This is Neki Skyway.
Gonna use the bird again, as always. This is a nice little auto-scroller that takes forever. But if you just skip all of it with the bird, it's, I don't know how much faster, but I'd guess at least like
a lot. It's like,
it's a slow auto-scroller.
It's a very slow auto-scroller. Grabbing some gold here for later. You'll be seeing it coming up pretty soon, but another skip coming up. This area was usually like the most jank, awful. These like jelly blocks here are really annoying and really easy to die on, but...
Shoutouts to Jelly, by the way.
Shoutouts Jelly. But the AFATs are gonna make this a lot better. He's just gonna do the AFAT, get straight up. There's a second one here. Same thing. There it is. Nice. Don't have to worry about those jelly blocks at all. Get more gold. That's gonna help us with some enemies we gotta fight coming up.
And we got another skip coming up right here for the Thorns area. Typically, you're supposed to break the level 1 by 1 by hitting the stamps. But they didn't feel like putting collision, like out of bounds collision, I guess. So you can just kind of fly over this area and it works.
Yeah, and there it is. Just right over the thorns, easy peasy, and then drop straight down to the minecart. Yep. I've never seen anyone do it not from the fruit.
Really?
That's the Jake special.
Is that new?
No.
Jake's just making up strats today, I'm pretty sure. I've never seen him do these.
I've actually never played this game before. I came up with all of this on the spot.
That's crazy. You made up so many names.
I know.
So you came up with Chicken Jockey Clip? All right. No comment.
Silence speaks all. So coming up here, a long time people thought barrel's slow, let's skip it. Nope, barrel is actually faster than going over to the arena.
It's actually possible to save 0.1 seconds if you go to the barrel.
0.1 second. Okay, gotcha.
And then this is going to be, I believe, one of the reasons Jake got that gold before. For this first phase, you're going to do the same thing you did on this boss earlier, but mess it up.
I've never seen that before. That's
Down punch the boss, and then the second phase was always really annoying, but people found out you can just pull out gold, throw it at its head, and there you go. Just like before, easy peasy. That's why you grabbed the gold earlier.
Yeah, we also want to use the gold again later. There's a bot, or not boss rush, but like an enemy rush segment.
Yeah.
Where it comes in handy.
Yes.
Now, coming up is something actually found by a member in this room right now. His name starts with a Z, or I mean a C actually, and it ends with a J.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was whoever found that is really cool, I bet. That's the one thing I've ever found in this run. So you can have your Muck Tua, Zim. I'll take threading the needle.
Now here, I did make a promise that I would do this.
Oh, you're going, I see, aura farming.
Yeah.
Yeah, these birds will one-shot you. They all could kill Jake here. It's really oh no! Oh my
Wait, my
God!
controller's not working. What's going on?
Controller! Oh no! Oh, you can jump over it? I didn't know that.
I was
badass.
also scared when I first saw that. I was like, what is he doing? Here's a cube.
But yeah, fun fact, those birds just can't hit you, except the last one.
Yes.
I don't know how that got past QA, but
Yeah, they just don't hit you except the last one. It's kind of funny. And yeah, we're going through a little bit of like a surfing auto scroller here. There's nothing really too much to this section besides going in a straight line.
yeah.
But this Planet Core, I guess, is a good time to talk about this. This is the biggest potential we have for skips. If we can find some way to skip the minecart sections and just fly to the end,
Yeah.
this is one of the few places where Nintendo decided that they were going to place out-of-bounds collision, so they won't just let you fly island to island. But if we had some way to do that, or to skip some of these islands in general, it would save an absurd amount of time.
Yeah.
Because these minecart sections, I mean, you can probably tell they take forever.
Yeah, this one especially.
This game is very much pushed to its limit, but yeah, there are some theoretical things, but as of right now, I mean, the community
Fossil or
grinded
no?
so hard. Yeah, you get the fossil. You got to get the fossil for good luck. There you go.
All right.
But yeah, this game developed so quickly. All this stuff was found, a lot of this stuff was found so fast, so much faster than you'd expect. But now it's time for this awesome enemy rush that's super cool and only takes an hour and a half to beat.
Yeah, this one, sadly, I don't know how much testing's gone to it. Probably a lot. No way to really skip it as of now.
Yeah, I
Maybe
personally
one
spent
day.
a lot of time trying to get out of here. They just don't want you to. They want you to fight these enemies.
This would definitely be the biggest remaining time save. This would save, I don't know,
much
this is
time.
like at least 2 minutes long. I'm not sure though.
Yeah. It also, a couple runners, I don't know who they could possibly be, have died on the last wave here and had to do it all over again and lost 2 minutes.
Yeah, probably some idiots.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who it would be.
Most of it is just going to be solved by throwing chunks at enemies. And
Did you see that? He just,
Oh, there you go.
What just
though.
happened?
You hit his weapon instead of him.
that's crazy.
Right
So
here,
this is why I got
yeah.
the gold.
Yeah, this one, these guys, they take a long time to kill, but you can actually just get them all to like kill each other and then just blow them up in the middle and boom, there it is. That's
Think
usually
you
like,
missed one? Yeah, there's
oh
still
yeah,
one
you
right
did,
there.
right there on the left.
I did not even see him.
Fine. Fellas, can I pop in here for a minute? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a quick one.
Great. So I do want to remind you that with this run here, getting pretty close to the estimate, and the next one only has an estimate of 40 minutes. If we want to hit that 20K, we got to get moving on that because that's that will be coming up very, very quickly here. I do want to read off a couple quick donations here. $15 donation from Captain Tushi, who says, Void Kong, more like dead loser.
Yeah.
Nice, that's a good one, bro.
And then we've got a $50 donation from I Am Gibbon that says, ooh.
Banana. All
So
right.
we are coming up to the very, very real final boss, the very, very
yeah.
real end of the run.
Unfortunately,
assuming
I
nothing
don't-
weird
I don't-
happens.
Yeah,
And I don't
nothing
have my
about that K-roll
controller,
glitch.
so I guess we can't do co-op for it.
Oh, right.
It's a bummer.
So yeah, normally supposed to go to the left. We'll just go straight to K. Rool. No messing around.
This minecart takes forever, so it's very nice to just be able to skip it.
And here is K. Rool. So K. Rool's an interesting boss fight. We're just gonna go up and punch him a lot. Seems to work fine. We'll be using a charge punch here to hit this ball back. Beautiful. And we'll just be trying to get to K. Rool as fast as possible. And I don't know if Jake's gonna be doing down punch strats here. They are quite difficult. Yeah.
So every boss you've seen so far has been insanely easy and taken 5 seconds. For whatever reason, they gave K. Rool 5 million health and just made him take forever to fight. I mean, I know for me at least, when I was playing casually, I thought I just must have been doing something wrong. Because when you punch him, it doesn't even look like his health bar is going down. It goes down so slowly. So there's just a lot of mashing. This, it's kind of hard to even do multiple runs of this in a row because of how much mashing you have to do at the end.
Yeah, it's even worse now.
Yeah, it's gotten worse. There's new strategies that are, it's just people begging to get carpal tunnel. Like, it's bad, but that's K. Rool done.
All right.
All right.
Very real time is about to happen.
When the credits roll, that'll be time. Oh my gosh, this is
gonna be world record.
World record.
Oh my god.
This be and after this
And time. Wait.
Time. Yes.
Oh my god.
World record.
That was beautiful.
I can't believe that.
On stage world record.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Rick Schmidt
Wait,
is
let's look at the
kinda bad at the
credits. Oh my
game.
god, Donkey Kong Bananza
Shout out
credits.
Kaboing,
Cackle.
Clampon,
Yep.
I love
Clobber,
Cleaver.
Clubba's the goat.
Clump is the goat. He purposely left in all of those tricks for us to do.
Oh wow, that was Clump
The
in those
game
interviews.
yeah.
I
That's
personally
crazy.
know, yeah.
Yeah, and so that is
Amazing
the
run.
end. Period. That is it.
Surely there's
Wait.
not going to be a
minute.
question mark.
What?
Or anything.
Wait a
No.
Oh
No. We got K-Rool glitch.
Oh, so this is a 1 in 1,000 glitch that makes it so there's a second K. Rool fight. Rogue AI programming put in another fight. It's kind of like that one Fairly Odd Parents episode. If you know that one.
Yep.
That's brutal, dude. That's world record dead to RNG. Are you kidding
That's
me?
unfortunate.
1 in 1,000.
Yeah,
So-
shout outs to Jay. He actually was the first person to ever get K-Rool glitch ever.
Yeah.
That originated from the Super Mario Galaxy 2 speedrunning, and it just kind of stuck. Make sure you hit these actual shots. Good. And in case you're not aware, that was a reference to Donkey Kong Country 1. That game also had fake credits, and it was a cool nod. Really like it. Now we're just waiting for this. We can't speed it up by throwing these rocks at K. Rool.
And we are going on to what I think is like the second hardest part of the run. Earlier, I said we skipped Zebra, we skipped Snake. The movement here is incredibly difficult, and on top of that, the game loves to drop inputs here, and we have to do some like really crazy platforming here. As long as everything goes well, it'll look really cool, but...
This is the final gauntlet where the game's like, all right, now use all the bonanzas you've gotten, and we're like, nah, bird and elephant.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
It's even crazier if you don't have ostrich at all.
Yes.
But
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, this is an auto-scroller. You can see Jake kind of beat K. Rool too fast, so now he's just waiting.
yeah, we just gotta wait.
Waiting for the next phase. Quite a long wait, actually, when you're...
Shoutouts to Hightex, who on world record pace several times does these really risky jumps across that little gap.
I respect it.
Scares me so bad.
Listening for an audio cue here.
All right.
Get the early kill. And
Believe it or
now-
not, that is not done. The game really likes tricking you and thinking the game is over, but nope, we still have a bit more to go.
3 fake out endings, but
Yeah, they really had to outdo DKC, and so they're like, just add more endings, like whatever.
And now K. Rool kills every citizen of New Donk City by drowning them in lava.
That is canon,
It's really
unfortunately.
dark.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Now it's time for Surface and time almost for the actual final boss. I swear to God, it's the real one.
No
this
more
time.
joking around.
This is where inputs really get dropped. This part is kind of tough to time everything, especially when someone won't stop talking while you're trying to do it and time your input.
So I guess I'll talk just a little bit about the IFATs. You can just skip straight to the top of the level if you do them. Also shout out to Nightcrow who discovered them. I promised I would shout him out, and I guess now is the time. But yeah, we mentioned earlier, there's also like a mechanical issue where I just think people just cannot mash fast enough. Some people just can't do it.
What is it?
Like-
500 beats per minute?
It's something
on one of
wild
the
like
inputs?
that. And they have to do them all frame perfectly. And it's not just like mashing a button. You have to push like ZL twice and then Y, then ZL
Yeah.
twice and Y. And like that double input is so difficult.
It's and it's lame.
Yeah.
Because it kind of just turns the entire run, all this interesting movement just kind of becomes one piece of tech. And so it's probably a good thing that it's so hard.
So yeah, Jake's gonna grab some chunks here, and now we are on to the snakeless bridges,
Yep.
also zebraless. So we'll
This
see it
is-
right here.
Yeah, so basically if Jake were to try to stand on this platform, he would just fall right through. So instead, he's going to be using gold in a very strategic way, turning these snakes that you normally can't stand on into gold to be able to stand on them. Uh-oh.
What was that?
This is savable if you go to the left. Never mind. All right, he's going to have to do it again. That's all right.
That's rough.
Only about a 40-second time loss there. Not
Yeah.
too bad.
This ending is very punishing.
Yes.
So.
Yes, it really is.
May I have those 40 seconds, please?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
sweet. All right, cool. We got a couple donations that came in here. $50 donation from Pythons with no comment. Thank you for that. Got a $5 donation here that says, the final boss of Dead Rising is John Rising, actually. Very few
Oh.
people know this.
I didn't know that.
And we have a $25 donation from Ali, and it simply says, ooh.
Banana. Yeah. Wow, Jake, you're so generous, purposely messing up to read out some more donations.
Yeah,
That's very
of course.
thoughtful of
There you go.
you.
He got the jump. He's going to throw another chunk here.
Yeah, so coming up is going to be the actual final boss. So CJ, get ready for your co-op.
Yeah, oh, it's my time to shine.
Yeah, so we'll
But
be
that was
switching over
it.
to-
Jake made it through the surface. Let's get a round of applause
Yeah,
real
it's a
quick
very hard trick.
before I outshine him
Yeah.
on this boss fight.
I will say, if Jake does die on this boss fight, he will have to do it again. So
Yeah.
CJ,
Yeah, let's
Give me
Yeah,
your
we're going to have
word.
to switch to two-player here.
so switching to two-player, I guess I'll explain while these gamers do their thing. So Pauline's gonna come in and actually do some damage. He's gonna go, yo, 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 yeah, and then actually damage the boss. So CJ's gonna be mashing the A button to deal some extra damage to K. Rool through the power of singing. It's so awesome. So K. Rool's gonna be jumping around.
Yeah, he jumps in a very consistent manner.
Yes.
So we can just follow the pattern as long as we manipulate him correctly. We should be able to end this fight pretty quickly.
So normally, normally you're supposed to punch these balls
Oh
back
my
at
God.
K. Rool, and that allows you to like stun him and you do damage. But we're gonna be so fast where we'll get to him before he even shoots the balls out, so we can deal a lot more damage. And it's actually faster to not stun him, especially with CJ doing these extra attacks with Pauline.
Yeah,
There's
this
like-
one's rough on the hands.
There's
It really is, Jake.
So there's technically 3 phases of attacks. If they do not get to the next phase fast enough, K. Rool will say, I'm out of here and jump away. But these, they're going a great job. That's on to phase 3. The attacks are gonna get much harder, but we're probably not even gonna see them. And by the way, time is gonna be coming up very shortly. It's gonna be in the cutscene
Nice.
when K. Rool punches K. Rool. So when the cutscene starts, get ready for the time. It's coming up very soon.
You can just hear all that damage we're doing there. It's crazy.
It would actually be a lot faster, but because of how many projectiles are on the screen, it actually lags the game out and slows it down. And if it didn't do that, this would save even more time than it already does.
So we're
Nice,
almost
getting the
there.
snipe.
This should
Is
be
it
the
gonna be
last
it?
one.
Gonna be it, yeah.
It's gonna
Ready?
be in about 3, 2, 1,
And
time! Oh my God.
So because we were doing 2P, I forgot that CJ's words also count as projectiles, so that we actually got time
Yeah.
Now CJ
before
does
the
have a
time change,
performance
but yeah.
for us here.
Oh yeah. CJ's gonna be singing the credits so
Am I?
graciously.
All right. This strange world, it's so vast and deep. All these things, wild and new to see.
Let's see some phone flashlights in the crowd.
On my own, far from home, I was scared, alone.
It's so beautiful.
When your beat showed the way to through me. Come on, everyone. We're breaking through down to the core. No stopping us, not anymore. Inside the storm,
don't know the
I
words.
found the key. Your beat rang out. My voice has been released. Hear it call from deep down inside.
Whispering truth.
This melody and harmony will strike a chord that's gonna break us free. All right, we'll just do the first verse.
Do we have
guys
any
so
shout
much.
outs? Do we have any shout outs?
Yeah,
Hey,
huge shout out to
Bradley.
the Donkey Kong Bananza community, Rick, Tyron, Try, all the top runners. We already gave a shout out, I think, to Neil and to Twirly. They're all fantastic. You should check all of them out. And yeah, huge shout out to my couch who made this commentary
Thank
possible.
you.
And shout out to Jake, who actually had an insanely good run, way better than
Yeah, not
any
bad.
practice run he had.
Yeah, that's actually the fastest one. that
And
I've had
Jake
before.
did say that if he did better than a 113, he would become a full-time streamer. Pretty exciting.
Right.
go.
Wow,
right.
it's typically a 1:12:39. I remember is you have to.
Oh, wow. Barely made it. That's crazy. It must be fate.
Yeah. And also shout out to Jay, who sadly couldn't be here.
Yeah.
He's gonna do some commentary, but I hope you're doing good, Jay.
He's all good, by the way. He's just Welsh.
Yeah, that does dampen things.
But yeah, huge shout out to GDQ. Hopefully we get some more donations in here. I don't know what the next incentive is, but let's hit it, guys, for me.
Yes.
Do it for Jake. Shout out, Jake.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.